Women demanded political equality even before the nation's foundings, but not until 1878. A member of the Congress formally submitted a proposal to amend the Constitution to allow women to vote. The Senate debated what became to be known as the Susan B. Anthony Amendment, periodically for more than 4 decades. It was approved by the Senate on June 1919 and ratified in August 1920. The 19th Amendment marked one stage in women's long fight for political equality. The Seneca Falls Convention fought for the social, civil, and religious rights of women. The meeting was held on July 19 to 20, and only 300 people showed up, and there were only women, but on the second day, it was only men. A woman named Elizabeth Cady Stanton is a leading women's rights advocate who was driving organizer of the Seneca Falls Convention. She agreed after an impassioned argument from Frederick Douglass. A woman named Susan B. Anthony is an American social reformer and women's rights activist. She was in a criminal trial in the U.S. federal court in 1873. The defendant was a leader of the women's suffrage movement who was arrested for voting in Rochester, New York in 1872 elections. Anthony argued that she had the right to vote because the recently adopted the 14th Amendment, which part of it reads, "No state shall make or reinforce any law which shall abridge the privileges or immunities of citizens of the U.S." Suffrage hikes in 1912 to 1914 were bringing attention to the issues of women's suffrage. A woman named Rosalie Gardner Jones organized the first one to the left from the Manhattan to Albany, and the second hike was from Manhattan to Washington, and it covered the streets 230 miles in 17 days. The Women's Suffrage Procession in 1913 was the first suffragist parade in Washington, D.C. It was also the first large organized march on Washington for political purposes. The procession was organized by the suffragists Alice Paul and Lucy Burns of the National American Women's Suffrage Association. The parade's purpose, stated in its official program, was to march in a spirit of protest against the present political organization of society, from which women are excluded. During the 1800s, women organized, petitioned, and picketed to win the right to vote, but it took them decades to accomplish. They finally created the 19th Amendment, which guarantees all American women the right to vote. Achieving this milestone required a lengthy and difficult struggle. During the 19th century, several generations of women's suffrage supporters lectured, wrote, marched, lobbied, and practiced civil disobedience to achieve what many Americans considered a radical change of constitution. Few early supporters lived to see final victory in 1920. And also, congratulations to 100 years of hard work and women's freedom right to vote.